When somebody has a fear of failure, one of the mistakes that they often make is that they are waiting for the process to feel easy. They are looking for some kind of solution, some kind of mindset technique where they immediately feel 100% confident and comfortable and everything is just super easy, and then they can put themselves out there and feel zero resistance and zero discomfort, and they're able to take risks and put themselves out there and put themselves on the line and to be bold without feeling any internal struggle whatsoever. And that's completely unrealistic. Now, there are absolutely things that we can do to make that process significantly easier. And if somebody has certain issues around self-worth, then again, there are things that we can do to tackle that. But fundamentally, one of the most important principles is you must be willing to get uncomfortable in order to grow. And you have to expose yourself. You have to put yourself in situations to train the associations that your brain has made, because you can intellectually tell yourself that a specific situation or thing that you want to do, whether it's dating or whether it's putting yourself out there to promote your business or whatever, you can tell yourself that those things aren't an actual real life threat and that they're not dangerous and there's no need to feel afraid. But if the survival portions of your brain have encoded that as meaning danger, you need to expose that part of your brain to that very environment enough times that it starts to rewire a new emotional association to it. It starts to understand, this isn't something to be afraid of. So, for example, I've got a friend who used to be very intimidated by women. He had an incredible fear of approaching women, a fear of being rejected. And so he set himself this task where after work, every single day, he had to get at least 10 rejections. He basically had a low tolerance of rejection. And so he needed to increase his tolerance levels. And so he decided, right, I'm going to go out and I'm going to get 10 rejections every single day. And the purpose is not to get somebody to go out on a date. The purpose was purely to get women to say, no, thank you. And so he would park himself at the bottom of a set of escalators in a department store. As women were coming down the escalators, he would ask them to go out for a cup of tea or a cup of coffee or a drink, and he would get no, and then he would go on his way home. And interestingly, he actually met his wife that way. Now, but that's a great example of being willing to just get uncomfortable in order to grow. And if you're waiting for the day when taking risk and putting yourself out there and putting yourself on the line is just super easy and you can take the whole thing in your stride, it's just unrealistic. And yes, there are absolutely mindset techniques. If you have significant traumatic events from the past or major issues around self-worth and self-esteem to overcome, of course there are things that we can do for that. But bottom line is that this element of exposure is still going to be part of the process. And if you're going to tackle that, you have to have a big enough reason to do it in the first place. You have to recognize that the long-term consequences of not addressing this issue are infinitely more painful than the short-term consequences of getting rejected or making a mistake or having some kind of short-term failure.